St. Mary's Tigers, the number 21 seed in Select Division 4. They'll go on the road to St. John this Friday for the first round playoff game. And we've got head coach of the Tigers, Kedrin Seastrunk, with us to help preview this first round matchup. And Coach had a 5-5 regular season, but two notable things: a 4-game win streak to end the regular season as you got into district, and then also a strong schedule against several playoff teams. Defeated 3 of them. Manny, LaSalle, and Montgomery also went up against Bunkie and Menard, St. Frederick, Logan Sport. So just about everybody on your regular
Yeah.
season schedule is in the playoffs. So
Yes, sir.
5-5 record, but it was well earned.
Yes, sir, man. Sometimes coaching, when you're inside of the, um, when you coach and you kind of see things differently. 5-5 records sometimes don't match with the caliber teams that you either play or that you are. And so that sometimes, with the players, you got to kind of remind them of that we are better than a 5-5 team, but we also play some great teams. Like you said, every team that we played in the preseason, not only big in class and numbers, but they're really good teams, and those teams are competing in the playoffs as well. So each of our regular season games, we play playoff teams, and we play them early. So those are the good things about it. The good thing about it as a coach is you kind of get your war wounds early. You kind of get exposed. You get your chance to see what you need to make some adjustments on, which then later on throughout the season, you start having success because you've had a chance to kind of tweak up some things about from how they've been exposed. So, it's some pros and cons. It don't look good to the fans. Going 5. Well, I mean, they are satisfied with the ones that understand, but everybody want to win, which we understand. And not only that, some of the games were close games. We played. About 3 of the games came down to the last drive of the game. So I always tell the team to try to keep them motivated. We're only about 3 plays away from being 8-2, and so we just play hard, finish the games, make those adjustments. Hopefully we can come surprise some people in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. And to that point, I mean, it's not very uncommon for a 6-4 team to end up taking the trophy home from New Orleans. So a tough regular season schedule
Yes,
usually
sir.
ends up benefiting. And speaking of toughness, tell us a little bit about your rosters. I know often the brand of St. Mary's is that Ironman style where you got your top skill guys playing both ways, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
something that y'all are accustomed to, and y'all make work the way that you do. So bring us up to speed on your roster and the guys that have gotten y'all this 21 seed here for the postseason.
Yeah, man. I think what we call Ironman football, man. I think it kind of tests your ability to coach, because you have to not only coach, you have to be very strategic with your substitution. You gotta and so early on in the year, you got to week 1, week 2, week 3. Your players are really kind of not in shape. You got that August heat, that September heat. So you kind of be on the back end of that. Some of your key players are kind of gassed early on, and so you got to make some adjustments. It's just it kind of makes coaching. I'm not going to say hard, but it stretches you as a coach. Uh, so just getting through that, understanding that, continuing to keeping our guys in shape, keeping them to playing high quality football for as long as we possibly could. That was a challenge early on. Well, as you see when the season progressed, kind of get a little cooler. Those things, those players that we pretty much put to tote the boat were able to do what we required them to do because of just being physically in shape. So we understood that, which is why we had to strategically substitute. We started learning who we need to pull out a little earlier, who we need to keep in longer. And we saw that just through the games. Now, we wish we would have known some of these things earlier. Maybe would have had success early on. But however, this is what matters. So I guess when you think Ironman football, I guess I can start outside, man. You got our receiver, Hayden Nelson, number 4. He's a guy, man, that as a receiver, he's running every play. Whether he's getting the ball or not, he's running, he's blocking, and so he's been one of our top receivers this year. Man, he give us great success with that. And then not only that, on the other side of the ball, I want to say he reeled in my 8-10 touchdowns receiving. close to almost 500 yards receiving. But then you got him on the defensive side. He plays defensive end. Not oftentimes you get to see a receiver at defensive end, but he's also having high success there. I want to say he leads the team in sacks. He has 11 and a half sacks. And, I want to say he almost got like 14, 15 tackles for a loss. And I want to say he got about 60, 64, something like that tackles. So he gives us what we need on both ends. I play with a high level of intensity. And I think the teams that play us, I want to say that they will probably circle him to be one of the guys that you look out for. He stands firm when need to, and he can go get you when he need to. So he's been a guy that have grown over the season as well because he stayed in shape because he's being a receiver and doing that. Next up, we got Tucker Johnson. Tucker Johnson has been a guy. He leads our team in tackle. He's been pretty much the team captain, the captain of the boat, the captain of the team. He's been, I want to say he has close to 85, 90 tackles. I haven't really looked, but he played high-level football. It's like having a coach on the field. He runs the defense, but also, he plays on the O-line. He can play center. He can play guard. He can play tackle. He plays wherever we need. He's also the captain of the O-line. The younger guys we put in place, he be able to strategically tell them where to go and also come back and tell us what they're doing. So Tucker has been a great guy as well. I think he's just two-way players. Who else we have two-way players? We have Tucker. We have Hudson Meffin as well. He stepped up this year, first year linebacker, and he's been doing well at linebacker. I want to say he has about 3 or 4 sacks, has over 60-something tackles, and he's been doing well because he's also our center. First time playing both, first time starting in both, and he definitely did what we needed to do to just kind of start propelling toward the end of the season. And so those are really our two-way players. Shalin Gandy, he's our receiver and our free safety. He's kind of that utility guy for us, man. He's the guy that can kind of almost do everything. Offense, you'll see him a receiver, you'll see him a running back, you'll see him a quarterback. Defense, he plays free safety. Sometimes if we need him to lock down a corner, we go to the corner. So those are our two-way players that I want to say almost never come off the field, and we have high expectations for them. Then you have, let me see, I'm just thinking two-way players with D-line. Also, LaTravion Jefferson. LaTravion Jefferson, this is his first year really just playing the sport. He played a little bit off and on 8th grade, but this is his first year playing the sport, and he's been an outstanding guy. I think that's another guy that they circle on the film. He's also our left tackle, but he plays defensive line. I want to say he has over 60, 70 tackles, had about 5 sacks. And he's kind of our guy that we plug the middle with. We call him our hook. He kind of the guy that just kind of go disrupt some things, and he do well at that. So those are our two-way players. Those guys play both sides of the ball, and we actually, we require on them. But then one of the biggest things we have this year, when we made this adjustment, this is, I think, had us to success. We had John Paul Thibodeau. He's our running back. All right, so we had him at defense at first, and we really kind of was overusing him on defense, and he really couldn't give us the production we was needing on offense. And so when we kind of made that change to kind of just let him kind of rest on defense, put him in when needed, he's now, I want to say, he's tiptoeing at almost 1,200 yards rushing this season. And, man, I want to say for the last 4, maybe 5 games, he's had over 150 yards rushing once we made that change, because now he's fully rested to play to play when we need it. And here's the thing, within the last 3 games, he had over 150 yards within the first half. So he didn't play the second half of football. So just saying that those adjustments kind of give us now the dynamics that we need. I got my son at quarterback. Ashton Johnson's at quarterback. First year ever playing quarterback. We kind of had some things happen in the offseason where we lost a quarterback early. So he had to kind of grow up quick. So those first couple games were his first varsity game, seeing the lights, and we welcomed him to the lights with playing Bunky. That wasn't a good welcome, but Bunky, Red River, Menard. So these were the games that we just kind of had to figure out who he was, his identity, what he could do, kind of on the job. And it was frustrating because we still was expecting high level play. But then, kind of the coaches had to remind me, hey, this is only his 3rd game playing. It's kind of also been a father, kind of probably didn't make it any easier for him. So we just kind of just start when I analyzed him for his strengths, kind of started making the offense around his strengths. And then we became a balanced offense to where now he throws 3 and 4 touchdowns a game. Also with John Paul running 2 or 3 touchdowns, that has given us success.
And you mentioned, the past 4 or 5 games really clicking, and ended the season on a 4-game win streak. And looking back now, 8 of the 10 regular season opponents are in the postseason. So well trained for this playoff run. And then St. John as well. They ended up with a 3-game win streak to finish the regular season. They've also played a lot of tough teams, mostly private schools. But they're 7-3 with that 12 seed. So let's peek at that matchup this Friday a little bit. It'll be a trip down to Plaquemine for y'all, and probably two teams that have a lot of familiarity with styles of play, even though haven't played any similar opponents.
Correct, man. So as I watch it, man, honestly, and I tell the team, they remind us of us. I want to say they got probably about 30, 35 guys. A few of the high quality athletes go both ways and they play hard. I think it's one of those matchups. One thing we've said all season is, man, we just wish we had another chance to play Red River. Man, we just wish we had another chance to play Menard. Man, we just wish we had another chance to play Logansport. The close games that we've had, because once we see what we can do, we kind of just want to see where we at. Most of those games happen. Made a mistake here and two, take that mistake away, had an opportunity to be a different ball game. However, so now we get that game again. That's the thing we say. We get a chance to play a team of high level caliber to see who we really are, to kind of set our identity. And so, man, watching them, man, they play some like they play some good teams and they play some high level football. And I think honestly, we play hard. We got a chance to pretty much be in the game too. So these are the games you kind of look for. I think it's a balanced team. Now it's going to see who won it the most. And so these are the playoff games you look for. I think it was a good draw for us. I think it's a good chance for us to see what we got, what we need to do. And I think it's a good chance that if we do what we need to do, click on all 3 levels, we got a chance to kind of redeem that season. We took those bruises, like I said, losing 3 games on the last drive. Those wounds hurt. I think this will kind of be a little salve to that wound. So now people can really see, oh, they could or they did have the ability to play hard. And so just looking to, and for my seniors, I say this, before I want to miss that for my seniors, just giving them that good taste on the way out. Man, I also left out a receiver, Cole Yop. Cole Yop has probably been one of our secret weapons this year because nobody really knew who he was before this year. And now we call him our head top guy. He built his confidence up enough. We throw the ball up, and he's successfully come down with like 7, 8 touchdowns just by throwing it up. One of our biggest guys through our Manning win, right? Just kind of mismatching. He's probably about 6'2", 6'3", and he can run. And so he that there, I think, help us stretch the field, give John Paul some things. And man, we're excited just to kind of go back and replay a team of great quality to see exactly what we are. So this is kind of our test to be able to salvage the season, to say, oh, they were that great team that could have been 8-2 or 7-3, or just say, there was that almost.
Yeah, and it's such a talented bracket. I mean, you get to the second round of this bracket, and you start seeing Ascension Catholic, Ascension Christian, and these schools that have Ouachita Christian. List goes on of teams that really do football well, and St. Mary's under your leadership is getting to where they're part of that conversation. So I'll ask you that before we get out of here. Where are you at with this program right now, and the 2 seasons that you've had to establish your identity and be out front of this program? How do you like this program moving forward after this playoff run? Hopefully have a few more weeks of it, but where are you at with the Tigers right now overall?
Man, I love it here, man. I want to say I got a lot of outside support that helps helps things go. The thing that, of course, at St. Mary's, the thing that kind of our biggest kryptonite at the moment is just numbers. Honestly, playing this year with only like 27 guys. As a coach, I think starting off, of course, we want the greatest scenario that we can get. But I started thinking about it, man. If I'm ever going to be a great coach, it's not about having a good team. It's about getting a team and creating them and helping them become a good team. So playing with 27 guys, it's a little intimidating. You walk across the field, you're playing against Bunkie. They got 80 guys on the sideline. They warm up lines. They continue to go, and we got 27. But honestly, it's more life lessons, man. So man, ministry is my heart. Honestly, I coach is my profession, but ministry is my heart. So getting a chance to mentor the guys and use the game as scenarios to kind of shape them as men, I think means more to me than anything. Now, I would love to win, but I love to also recover and redeem ourselves man, after so often when we get a chance to talk, and now you see confidence growing in these guys, and now how they attack the task. So honestly, that right there, I mean, that's very fulfilling and purposeful for me. But moving forward, man, my goal is just to grow the program. I think if we and now, because I think that the transition, everybody was kind of a little nervous about, getting a new coach. But now I think that the buy-in is growing. The schedule, I didn't make the schedule, so I had to kind of just play the schedule as is. So, next year can kind of tweak some things to make some things a little bit more favorable, just to the season, but not trying to get away from anything and not trying to run from anything. But I think now, parents are buying in, administration is buying in, town's buying in, and now, just give me a few more pieces, and my goal is to continue to make some runs.
Well, you've been a leader in that community going back to your playing days at Northwestern State, and someone that everyone can be proud of as a head coach of that program. And hopefully I'll continue to grow. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to you this time next week, previewing a regional round again against Ascension Catholic. So, Coach Seastrunk, we appreciate your time helping us preview this game. It'll be on 446 Sports. You can listen to the audio broadcast this Friday. And like I said, hopefully we're doing it again next week. We appreciate your time, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir. Go